When this shit
When
is
it goes,
on, dude?
okay.
Oh, hit that story.
Oh, yeah. So back when you earlier started these,
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. She's like this tall, sleeve tattoo musician.
Julien.
Yes.
Baker, yeah.
So I saw her on that episode
Yeah.
and was like,
Yeah.
what a great episode. And I got done watching it and I went to Turnip Truck to get some food. And she happened to be sitting outside. I had no idea. I'm so out of touch with music.
Sure.
I was like, hey, I just saw you on Rado's thing. That was awesome. She's like, thanks so much.
Cool.
And then later on, I see her on something else. I was like, oh, she's like well-known musician. That's crazy. She's super talented.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it was just funny. She was very sweet about it.
Yeah, that's cool. She's kick-ass, man.
She was probably stoked that it was like something else to be like, hey, I know you from this thing. I'm like, I have no idea who everybody else knows you. Yeah.
Rather than just music all the time.
Yep.
We texted a few times last year, but we haven't talked in a while. I know she's conquering the world. You know what I mean? She's a badass, man. Yeah. She really is a badass. Yeah. All right, so hey, make it perfect. It's my friend Ian White. Ian White is a tattooer and owns Safe House Tattoo in Inglewood, which is East Nashville, Tennessee. And how long have you been tattooing?
This May will be 22 years.
Doing zaps.
Yep.
Do you call them zaps?
I call them all the things. Yeah.
I remember someone talking shit. They're not zaps, they're not tats, they're not zips. It's tattoos. And I don't remember who it was. Probably someone who's really good.
It's probably somebody not.
Yeah, right.
Maybe.
Right.
It really none of it matters.
God. I know. Yeah, right. Who cares what you call them?
Yeah.
What are you working on now? What's going on? Tattoo-wise?
Tattoo-wise, I go through phases of drawing a bunch of pre-drawn stuff. So I'm in that headspace.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Of drawing a whole bunch of just like, here's stuff I'd like to do. So that's really all my artistic focus. I got some stuff in the calendar, but nothing like super crazy. Hoping to start moving into some of the crazier stuff as it gets closer to spring.
Like, are you talking about like back pieces?
Yeah, bigger like legs and backs and sleeves and stuff like that. Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to tattoo? Did you get tattooed?
Yeah.
Blasty.
Adam Jackson did that.
Oh, that looks good, man.
A week ago.
That's awesome.
Blast over.
That looks great, man. Yeah. It's I love the blast over. I have a few of those.
Yeah, he did some on somebody that was in the shop. I was like, that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm just gonna start piecing it.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Did you have any of that stuff removed, or is it just
old?
old?
It's been lightened. I got it like 3 passes on the whole.
What's that feel like?
Absolute hell.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Where do you go?
Ona Skincare on Fatherhood in East Nashville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How long does it take for you to do one pass?
Minutes. It's very fast. Yeah.
But it makes my asshole clench up.
Oh, dude. Have you had some?
Yeah. Asshole clenches? Yeah.
No, yes.
No, I never had. I'm getting this.
You get them just anyway.
I'm getting that.
A little strike anywhere?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now it's like the Antifa thing. I just don't want anything that extreme on my body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Do a yin yang over it.
Yeah, that's
there you go.
actually a great idea.
It's even better.
Yeah, dude. Then I would be the ultimate meme.
Yes.
I'm down for it.
I'm
down for it. So you're saying like, so it takes minutes, and can you describe how it feels?
Closest thing I can see is like when you're cooking bacon, some of that hops out and hits you in the skin.
Yeah.
But repeatedly and over and over and over.
Is it in that little a spot, or is it like...
No, it'll go up. Like if it was like this tattoo you're trying to go, you'd wander it back and forth. And you'd get over this whole thing in like 30 seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you hold on.
Dude, I got to do it.
I've done a lot.
Shit.
I did my whole back, I did my neck, I did my knuckles, and then this arm.
Wow.
And I've redone my whole back. I've redone my neck.
No way.
Knuckles, yeah.
Do you pay for it, or do you trade?
Trade.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I can still afford it.
Dude,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How much is it? Do you know how much it is?
I actually don't know.
Really? Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I got to do that shit.
I get asked that a lot because I've like tried to send people to it and get it done, and I'm like, I actually don't know what this costs, which
man.
I feel bad.
That's got to be a bitch, man. Yeah. I can't even. Not her, but that process. I know her.
No, she's a very sweet person.
She's helping people out that made some fucking decisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So what are we gonna paint? What are you gonna paint?
Man, I tend to lean towards skulls, but I'm gonna try to like loosen it up today.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's
oh, this one's fucked.
That's kind of loaded, but
loosen it up.
Yeah.
Like my butthole.
Yes.
Because it was
puckered.
It was really clenched up there for a minute.
Was.
You know what I mean? Man, you know, I when I did these before, I was super goofy and just like louder and bigger, I think. Interrupting people more. Just fucking, you know, and like there's part of myself that I want to get back to that. But I'm just so damn tired.
Yeah,
You know, like, just, do you hear that sound?
Oh,
I
you
love
love
that
it.
sound.
That was your butt.
Yeah, loosened up.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's where you get it.
we talk about buttholes on this show. There's like this company over here. What am I saying? I don't know if they could probably hear me. I don't, whatever. Anyway, they're doing like, you know, like basic, like I'm whispering now.
Yeah.
They do like basic bitch shit. You know what I'm saying? And
Live, laugh, love stuff.
yeah, big time, man. And we're over here talking about buttholes. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good.
Yeah, man.
All right, so let's shout out Amanda real quick at Jerry's.
Yes. Amanda's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for, hey, bring it over here. Thanks for hooking us up with all this paint, Amanda. Seriously.
She's amazing.
She is, man. She's
Jerry's
funny.
is amazing. She's great. She takes care of all the Nashville artists.
Big time.
She does.
Hail Amanda,
Yeah.
straight up. All my paint froze in the back of my car during that time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she hooked it up begrudgingly, but with a smile.
She did it.
She's a
You're like, I'm
badass.
going to steal it if you don't.
Yeah, no
So,
shit. I've stolen so much shit from Jerry's. I'm just kidding. Man, I'm just kidding. Like you're ever going to fucking watch us. You probably will.
Yeah, she might.
Oh, she's funny, dude.
She will.
Dude, I feel like I can say anything around that woman and she just like, let's go for it. You know what I'm
She
saying?
is too.
What are you doing?
I'm going to tone it.
Okay, you got to teach me what you're doing.
I'm
What is
just-
that? Black? No, it's mauve.
Mauve.
So
I
are
think
you-
just the fact that you had a color of mauve, I was like, I need to do
Yeah.
this.
Just be careful of the floor because
Yeah.
the owner will just give me a stern
Like a
talking
little
to.
shit. The
He's
color
cool.
mauve.
He's fucking awesome. You know what? I'm going to tone my canvas, dude, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, this guy's getting into it.
Trying to.
He's fucking going for
Got
it.
to get rid of the white.
That's your last name.
I know.
Oh, you know
I
what,
hate my
dude?
last name.
You do?
Yeah.
Because it's white guys?
Because it's white guys. Because I just
well.
don't connect to that side of my family.
Oh, copy.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand that. God. What would you want it to be?
Honestly, it's funny.
Just kidding.
I kind of wish I had changed it before I got known with my last name. My grandmother's maiden name is McGlashan,
Oh, that's tight.
and she's like Scottish Canadian.
That's hard as fuck.
Yeah, so like
That's hard as fuck.
Ian McGlashan had a better
pretty
ring
good.
than Ian White.
Yeah, dude.
So I kind of wish, but
Damn it.
it
There's
would
still
be
hope.
too difficult to change it at this point.
God, you'd have to change all your social media, dude.
Well, that and just, I mean, yeah, everything. Having 2 kids,
Well,
owning a
yeah.
home, all that stuff.
What would they think? They'd be like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't do this to us.
No.
We're digging.
I'm going to try to get both my kids to take on whoever they marry. Take their
Really?
last names. Yeah. If they so choose to be married, but
Yeah. Just force them to do everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
that's this day and age, man.
God, dude. I was saying earlier, man, like Harrison is at the age of just like everything is a fight. And I don't know if that changes.
How old is he now?
4.5.
Okay.
And he's just talking, constantly talking. And there was a time where he had a hard time talking, and I was like, God, I just want him to talk. I just want him to get his speech down, you know, and he's getting it down, but now I'm just
Yeah.
like, what? Shut the fuck up for a minute, you know?
Yeah. Dude.
I say that in love, Harrison.
Yes.
I know maybe you'll watch this one day, but you know what I mean?
Well, and I don't know a dad that doesn't know what you mean. It's like, I was literally, I won't say who, but I was just talking
Sure.
with a friend. I'll let him tell his own stories, but just talking with a friend last night, it's the same thing.
It's like,
he
what
was
the fuck?
Talking about, he's like, I got no peace in my
Yeah.
home because my kids are
How many has he
on
got?
cocaine all the time.
Shit. How many kids he got?
2.
Man, I don't know what that's like yet. I don't know.
So, yeah.
You know, and then I'm like, I was all idealistic before, Harrison was here. I'm going to do this. I'm
Oh,
just going to
dude.
be like this with him.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do this, and be fucking sweet.
Yeah.
But now he was talking some shit in the other room. Well, maybe melting down, but not just wanting to have his spot, you know.
Yeah.
And I walked in the kitchen to get some water off the refrigerator, and I go, "Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!" You know what I'm saying, dude? It's maddening, man.
I've done the exact
Oh
same
my
thing.
god, dude. Oh,
I think
crazy.
the thing my buddy told me last night we were chatting.
Yes.
It's literally last night we were just talking about the same thing of like, both our kids are the same ages and stuff too. And it's like this point he made where that I had never thought of was basically like we had in sort of a relation or response to how we maybe feel we were raised. We raised our own bar so high.
Yeah, we overdo
that
it.
we're not keeping up with the bar that we
Yes,
set,
yes.
which was apparently too high.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, straight up, dude.
Yeah.
That is the.
It helped
That's
me
pretty
to
key,
breathe
man.
that in last night after
Big
talking
time.
to him.
God, man. Yeah, it's like I overfunction now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm going to burn myself out doing that, like overdoing it, you know?
Yeah.
And dude, I was thinking to myself the other day, I'm like, God, I'm always, and I mean this figuratively,
Right.
I'm always up his ass. Like I'm always like, I'm worried about
curious-
being the hoverer, but it's like, dude, you got to relax,
I'm
Ryan.
curious of what, like, because I'm up my son's ass out of like, please stop doing whatever you're doing. That's my
I
like.
can't fucking deal with it. I know.
But my daughter is pretty self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little older than he is, and I just am way more patient with her.
Yeah.
But then, and this has changed, and my wife would kill me for even talking any kind of thing about her parents. She had found that she
Don't edit yourself.
had less patience with my daughter, while I had more patience with my son, and vice versa. It was like a trippy thing.
Like a paradox almost.
yeah,
Yeah,
a
isn't that
paradox,
weird?
But I feel like I'd read somewhere that was like pretty normal.
Really?
Yeah, which, I mean, all these things are normal.
Yeah, big time.
That's one of my favorite things I got from like 12-step stuff is like finding out how not unique any of us are.
Oh, it's so helpful, man.
And the fact that we're all dealing with the same stuff, whether it be parenting or recovery or
Yeah.
careers or any of it, we're all dealing with it.
Yeah, dude. No, man, becoming aware of that is a real big gift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I definitely spent a lot of time thinking that I was like so unique and special, and then it kept me in a prison because when I wasn't treated unique and special, I got depressed, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is my life about? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a,
Well, especially as an artist. I
yeah.
think we're
Hell yeah.
in a constant state of, hey, look at me. And then we're like, don't look too long.
Yeah.
That was long
exactly.
enough. That was
Yeah.
too, okay. Now
Get to
look
know
so-
me,
Yeah.
but get the fuck out of here, you know? Yeah. Nah, it's good. Dude,
Yeah.
I've been watching a little bit of this chick named Balin Dupree. She has Tourette syndrome, and she's on the Learning Channel. Well, she's got a show called Balin Out Loud.
Okay.
And man, Balin, you went for it, and that's supposed to be me on too.
Are you having that? You're like, this is my thing.
I know,
Yeah.
man, but she's getting rocked by it, man. Like God bless.
Like
that
hers
chick.
are more severe, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and like, it's such an interesting thing, Tourette syndrome, because it's always different for everybody, you know.
Yeah.
And I just wonder how much of that, now that a lot of it is like an ego thing, even though it's genetic. It's such a weird thing to say, but you become the disorder, you become the manifestations of the disorder. So it's hard to separate.
As in, like, your identity's wrapped up in it? Or?
Yes, dude.
Oh, okay.
And that happened for me. And when I watch her, and granted, I don't know, I mean, I know I can relate to her pretty good, you know, but it's different for her, and she's younger, and I hope that it doesn't, people are like, I have Tourette's, it's a small part of my life. No, it is fucking not.
Right.
Especially if it's out in the open like that. It is not a small part of your life. It might be a small part of your personality and what you think about the world, but that lens is always there. And it's
Right.
like when you feed it, and it's so tricky because how do you not feed it? Because everything seems to trigger it sometimes. It's like when it becomes who you are and a lot of what you do with your life, man, it just eats you to death, you know? And so I think I see her doing that, and I'm like, I just want to talk to her. I want to have,
Yeah.
not, you know, just to see a little more deeply who she is, you know what I'm saying? But am I painting her right now?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
She have that kind of
Yeah, kinda.
drawn down hair.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe
Interesting.
I saw
She's a bad motherfucker, man.
clip of her on something.
She is raw, dude. I'll send you some stuff, man. It's like, she said something the other day on a clip, and I was like, I could not stop watching it. She said, hi, my name's Balin, and I have Tourette syndrome. And then she goes, which a tick I used to have, like a high-pitched squeak. And then she goes, and I have a 9-inch penis. And then she goes, God damn.
I've seen that
God
one.
damn. And I was
I've
like,
seen that clip.
Fuck, yes. I could not stop feeling so much joy, but also, man, I can relate to that shit, you know? Just like saying the craziest shit and getting attention for it. And then it just becoming, you know what I'm saying?
I assume that you have thought of this before, but like, so say tomorrow you woke up and you had none of this.
Yeah.
I mean, is it like a thing that you'd skip through the fields, or you'd be like, well, now what?
It's a great question, dude.
You know?
I've loosely thought about that because I can't.
Well, it's abstract.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely,
like you're not,
dude.
you know.
Yes. Like, how do I envision my life without it?
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. It's like, I'd imagine it'd be a little bit of both. I bet I'd have some massive grief about it not being there.
Yeah,
you know?
the grief part is like it's a trippy thing to feel. Like somebody told me when I got into recovery, they're like, you're gonna have to grieve your addiction.
Fuck.
And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
I thought
dude.
I was trying to kick that thing out the door. They're
Right.
like, well, it kind of
kept you alive.
kept
for a
you
little-
alive.
Yes, dude,
In
yes.
times that you didn't feel okay, it helped you even in an unhealthy way.
Yeah.
Feel okay.
How did it help you? Talk about it.
Grieving it?
No, just the addiction. What was like? If you're interested in talking about it, I want to hear more about it.
I mean, as far as like, it's one of those things. Cause I'll just kind of say I consider myself like a run-of-the-mill addict in the sense that I qualify for multiple programs.
Okay, I think I do too, dude.
You know, it's,
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I've gone to AA, SA. I qualify for OA, overeaters.
Oh, got it.
You know, I'll emotionally, like when I first got
Yes.
sober, I put on like 15 pounds.
Dude.
Like, what's going on here?
Just crushing it.
Yeah. But, and that's pretty common. But in all that, still thinking I was so unique in what was going on with me that never really truly sought help until I had my own kind of bottom with things, and I kind of said I'd lived there for a while, and that's stuff that like it affected me and my life and my family and all that stuff to an extent where it's not only my story to tell, so I can really tell,
understood.
you know, be in so much detail of it.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But I do still, there's some folks where it's like I'd be dead without it, and I maybe I would be, I don't know.
Dead without
recovery.
Okay. Yeah.
Not like without the addiction part.
Sure.
But mine wasn't necessarily to that, but I know I would be alone, and I would.
That's a type of death.
You know, that is
Yeah.
And the idea of not having the family that I have now is like I can't even fathom it.
Dude, man.
But I think the not, like the first time I stepped into a 12-step room on my own accord. So I went into like court-ordered alcohol stuff when I was in my 20s.
Oh, okay.
And even like in high school, and then when I was in the service, I had to go to some. And
I forgot you were in the service.
yeah, I was in Air Force back in the 90s.
That's one of the coolest ones.
It's one of the easiest ones.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Not to discount it, but
Yeah.
it was. But I kind of tell this story of the first time I stepped in, and I was terrified that I would see somebody in there that I knew.
Oh, in the room. Yeah.
And the best thing that happened was that I saw two people I knew.
Rules.
And they would just
Rules.
hearing their shares and then realizing like how not unusual any of my addiction stuff was. That helped me immediately grab on to like, all right, I finally have a life preserver. I can identify. Like I felt like I was floating at sea, and there was all these life preservers around me, but I didn't know what they were.
Ah, okay.
And then finally, it was like, no, that's to save your life.
Yeah,
and I went,
right.
oh shit! And I grabbed onto one.
Wow.
And I was just like, okay, what's next? And
What was next? What happened next?
get a sponsor.
Okay.
Do 90 and 90.
90 and 90.
90 meetings in 90 days.
Whoa.
Some people do 30, whatever. It's like, I'm like, in true addict form, I'm like, well, if there's a 30-30, I'm gonna do a 90-90.
Yeah. Going all the way.
Yeah.
That's fucking me then, dude.
And I'm not a religious person,
Mm-hmm.
but I like opened my studio right next to a 12-step place, not knowing it, all this stuff. Like, so making 90 meetings in 90 days was not hard. I did it.
Oh, that's awesome,
I
dude.
went further than that.
Oh, wow. Crazy. Wow.
And that was in 2012.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've been
wow, man.
sober in that program since then. And,
Mm-hmm.
changed everything.
When did you realize, what was the moment you realized that you're like, I got to do something here, man?
I mean, everything came crashing down around me. I mean, it was like, it was finally like, nope, can't ignore this anymore kind of thing. And,
God.
yeah, man, that was, and I'd always wanted to be free of it. It's even a lot of why I moved to Nashville. I thought just change the location.
From Dayton, right? You're from Dayton?
From
Okay.
Dayton, Ohio, yep. So it was like, oh, I'm not doing so well here. I go somewhere else and start fresh. And that did not fix it.
Like, what do they call it? Going geographical?
Yeah. It's wherever you are, there you are.
Yeah, no joke.
Man. Yeah.
Wow.
And, got in that program right away. As soon as I got to a therapist, and at the time I actually was a pretty religious person. Went and saw my pastor at the time, which he still holds a good place in my heart.
Cool.
But
that's cool.
Yeah, they gave me good orderly direction, and I followed it, and changed everything.
Oh, that's cool, man. Man, was there ever a time that you felt like it creeping back on you?
No, because it was like it was such a dramatic change that, and I knew that I was doing all the things that I was told would fix it. I knew I was doing all those things, so there was never really any moments of like, what if I go back to that?
Okay.
It just,
you were headed out.
I was out. I was all that shit was in my rear view.
Wow.
And it's not to say that I was ever ignorant to the fact that it couldn't be.
Yeah.
I did not want to be cocky about it.
Yep.
You know, I didn't want to be like, oh, I got this. Somebody told me once too, is like, worst two words is an addict can say is, oh, I got this. I was like, I was trying to not be that either.
Yeah.
But also being confident in like, well, if I listen to these guys that have been here long before I have,
and they beat it,
and they did,
and probably made some mistakes
basically
too.
just do what they did.
Yeah.
And it was that simple. It was like I've had sponsees in the program.
Yeah.
And, you know, kiddingly, somebody told me, it was like, you want to get rid of a sponsee, just make them work a step.
Yeah.
And if they're not working their steps and they don't want to get sober, they're not going to do that. And that has happened a few times to me. Like, all right, man, we're not getting past step 2. Let's do it.
What is step 2?
Oh, man. Step 2 and 3 are the parts that get me nowadays, because I still work the steps in anything that's got me bogged down.
Yeah.
Like codependency especially. But
sure.
Food comes up a lot. You know? It's like, we got to eat. And it's like, okay, I've got no control over this. I'm powerless over this.
Wow.
And when I first got in the program, I was a spiritual person, or religious person, I should say.
Right.
And since then, I quite a while ago stepped away from all that. So when I get to step 2 and 3 are like higher power stuff, and I'm like, ah, crap, and I get bogged down on that.
Oh, so that trips you up there.
Yeah, now it does. It didn't then. I was kind of grateful that at the time I was religious, because I got into the program and it was like, all right, in this step, you're going to identify your higher power. And I was like, it's Jesus. And I just keep moving. And I was able to like get to some of the harder steps without getting bogged down on that.
I see.
Nowadays, I get bogged down on that one.
Like, what is my higher power?
Because it's so abstract.
Sure, yeah. What would be your higher power?
Man,
right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's another like story I got told in the program, was like, somebody couldn't think of a higher power. So he's like, all right, let's go outside, go pick up a rock, just pick any rock. So he goes and picks up a rock, and he's like, that's your higher power until you find another one.
Sick.
And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, he's like, it's going to make better decisions than you have to this
God
point.
damn it.
And I'm like, so.
That is some wisdom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? God,
So,
that is really beautiful.
When I can't think of it, I
Wow.
just think of a rock.
Yeah, that's
you
cool.
know?
That's
And
cool.
sometimes I'll physically walk out and pick one up and be
Awesome.
like, what would you do about this? It's
Yeah.
kind of like a good therapist where they just reflect back to you. And you do that enough and you can really reflect it back to yourself. But and then I also, I got buddies in the program. You make calls.
Yes.
It's my lifeline still.
Yes.
I don't go to as much meetings anymore, but I also know I always have the phone if I need it. So,
Yeah, man. Oh, that's cool, man.
yeah. Just tattooed some sobriety dates on a buddy the other day.
Oh, nice.
Actually, yesterday. Things like that. Just being connected. Also, just talking openly about sobriety, things like that. Somebody said once, it's like anonymity and secrecy are kind of two different things. If we were completely anonymous about it, no one would know about it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, totally.
Some people are just kind of called to be a little more open about theirs.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
I appreciate you saying, talking about that. It is a big deal, man. And it's crazy the way that, from what I can see in my own life, how seductive addiction, no, that's not the word I'm looking for. How, seductive addiction is.
Yeah.
Because even identifying having an addiction to start trouble.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Or having an addiction to feel
Like
to
self-sabotage.
feel anxious. Yeah. And like those can be addictions too. And they're a lot like tics. That leads me back to the Tourette syndrome, where I wonder if these tics are a type of addiction to making sure that I feel safe. You see, I feel compelled to do certain things to figure out where I am in space, and it's just become so much a part of my psyche and a part of my existence that it's hard to even separate me from the tic. Though I do it a lot of times, because I've done enough therapy about it. So that's what I was getting at.
I'd be curious if they were gone, if you would just purposely create new ones.
Yeah, I wonder, dude.
Because
yeah,
it would
that's
be.
really,
I could see that as being like when a therapist told me once. It's like if you scattered and you can just like tap the table.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm here.
Yep.
I'm curious if like I'll specifically. You're the only person with Tourette's I'm in a relationship with, so I can't speak for other people's tics. But if it's an exaggerated form of I am here.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like, I have this thing. It'll always bring me back to center.
Let me think.
I could be way off.
No, it's great that you say that. I wonder if it's interesting. I don't want to use that word. Again, another paradox, because these tics are a type of trance. So I wonder if it's me as I was a kid, feeling safe in the trance of the tic. Like it also gives me a second to think, because I'm thinking in the tic. I can see what's going on around me, and it's a distractor. So what is going to be my next move after this tic? Because I have to get the fuck out of here. But right now, doing the tic, I feel safe for some reason. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then on the other side,
it's like honed in.
Yeah. In another reality, I guess. But then also, it's like this is bilateral stimulation. So it's like you're connecting two sides of your brain. So I wonder, from what you're saying, I think if I did it consciously, which is what I've been working on for years, doing the tic consciously and thinking about what is the tic saying, what thoughts are going through my mind about the tic, that kind of brings me back to center. So that's a long answer.
I'm tracking.
But that's just my thought on that.
Yeah.
But it's weird, man. To be ridiculous about it, it's like life is wacky, man.
Well, yeah.
It's the most basic thing I've ever said.
Life and like more specifically like being alive is wacky.
Yeah.
Having mental processes in general is wacky. Having like synapses that create a thought, that create an emotion. Shit. Tell me about that. So we're the same age, right?
How old are you?
47.
47, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. How often do you think about dying?
Every day. I'm glad you brought that up, dude. Every single day.
Oh, dude, that one.
that is fucked up. Thank you.
Yeah. That was the part that like got me teared up watching that Barbie movie. She's just like, didn't you think about dying? And I was like, oh shit, this isn't the movie I thought I signed up for. And it was like existential dread wrapped up in a bubbly convertible.
With the most attractive woman alive.
Yeah.
You know, supposedly. You know?
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I think about it every day, man, and multiple times a day.
Yeah.
When do you notice you think about it the most?
Honestly, my kids trigger it in me because I think about them growing up,
yeah.
and then I think about not watching them grow up.
Fuck
and
yeah,
I'm like,
dude.
And not necessarily that part because like I may live to be 100, who knows?
Yeah, yeah.
But the idea that like there'll be a time that I stop and they continue,
God,
you know, and I don't get to see the continue part eats my lunch, man. I'll just sit and stare off into the nothing the side of my bed, you know. It's some shit. It's another one of those things that like when you see it put into a place like a movie like that, it actually makes you feel good that you're like, oh, okay, so it's not just me.
Yeah, right.
You're
right,
like,
right.
oh, okay.
God, I wish people talked about that more.
Yeah, I do and I don't, because it is one of those things that like part of me wants to just be ignorantly blissful about it and be like, no, this isn't going anywhere.
Right.
But it is. But the fact that other people, I'll loosely use the word struggle, but the fact that other people do struggle with the thought process of it helps me
not feel so fucked.
Yeah, like there's parts of me that's like, you know, this whole, you know, pick yourself up, be a dude, wolf pack guy, do push-ups, all this, whatever the fuck. It's like, no, I'm pretty sensitive.
Yeah,
I'm pretty like. It's weird. It's weird. It's all, and I get super comparative, and I just get like, oh, this person's got it figured out. They got a zen center point.
Get the fuck out of here.
There's these, yeah.
I mean, look at me though, dude. I'm trying to rep.
You are, man. Dude, but at the same time, it's like I can get behind like, what would you call that? Like a talisman of sorts. You know, it's like. Rub the little worry stone, all that shit. It's like it's not going to actually do anything, but I think placebos are totally fine.
I'm into it. Yeah,
you know, and it's like if that sweatshirt gives you like 1% more of like, check that out every day, then fucking take it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Then it's doing the thing that it was supposed to do. But you also, it's like anything. It's like you got to like believe in it.
I know.
You got to like. What was it Maynard said? Did you ever read his book?
No, but I need to.
It's good.
I
but
bet.
One of the best lines in the whole thing, he's like talking about religion because his mother was so religious, and he wrote a song about basically cursing her church because they didn't get behind her when she was dying and shit.
Yeah.
But he basically made this statement. It was like, you know, if you're an artist and you don't believe in some kind of magic, your art probably sucks.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, well, that's what keeps me agnostic as opposed to atheist.
Yeah.
It's like...
And he's a genius.
Oh, dude.
You know, but...
Yeah.
I feel like I'm with you on that, man. I was thinking the other day, like, how could any artist really be a true atheist? I
don't know, man.
That may be the dumbest
there's some
thing I've
atheist
ever
that's watching
asked,
this that's going, fuck you too. You know,
yeah. That's fine.
And honestly, if I'm really honest with myself, I am one.
An atheist?
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm a hopeful agnostic, pretend Buddhist. I wish I could call myself Buddhist. I do none of the work to do any of that, but like I love the idea of it.
Yeah. Oh man.
But you know, I went from every Sunday churchgoer to this all doesn't make any sense to me.
Dude, it's I made this eye backwards. Dude, I am nervous painting anything that has to do with anything on here. I usually just push color around, and I was thinking today. Anyway, whatever. So this looks like
painting's stupid anyway.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It really is. Like I love it. I love painting.
Yeah.
And I love the act of it, but it's stupid.
Dude, that's
What do you do about it? You just keep painting.
Well, it's almost like going back to the like the thing of like, could you take a pill and we talk about this in recovery too.
Yeah.
It's like, if you could take a magic pill and it's like all of a sudden you're not an addict anymore,
Mm-hmm.
or you could go down this hard road of like figuring yourself out
Mm-hmm.
and getting the benefits of doing that. Which do you choose? And it's like begrudgingly, you're like, I got to take that.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I feel like that,
yeah.
like as an artist, it's like, what if I could have been like a fucking engineer or some shit where I
Yeah.
could like put my book away, go home, not think about it, come back to it. And some, again, some engineers like, I think about it all the time.
Yeah, right,
it is a creative avenue.
Yeah. True.
You know, but
Yeah, but fuck you guys.
for me,
No,
it's
I'm
like,
just kidding.
yeah, fuck them anyway. But it's like, I
Oh my
can't
God.
not think about this shit constantly.
Yeah, dude.
You know, some days I'm like, oh, it'd
Comparing
be great
and
if
all
my
that.
kids became tattooers. And
But
other
then you're
days
like,
I'm
yeah.
like, please don't become
Yeah,
tattooers.
don't do that bullshit.
Yeah, it's stupid.
God,
Nobody needs
man.
tattoos. It's just
Man.
dumb.
Gosh, I wanted to go back to what you were saying about the higher power thing.
Yeah. I've heard of those.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I would not say that I'm an evangelical Christian by any stretch anymore.
Yep.
I was-
Big exhale.
God, man, that shit's insane, dude.
Yeah.
It's insane. And but I do, how do I say this? I do think I do enjoy reading, though I don't a lot, reading the scriptures and but I've noticed that I put a lot of my higher power energy into hawks. I fucking love hawks, dude.
Oh, Josh Hawks.
No, I love Josh Hawks too.
I thought you were talking about Josh Hawks. I was like, whoa, man, you guys got tight. You guys got real tight over the years, man. Shout out to Josh Hawks.
Yeah, that's pretty
We
good.
all just believe in Josh
That's
Hawks.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good.
I really
Nah,
thought
dude,
that's
I
what
mean-
you meant. I thought that
awesome.
dude, I was like, man, he worked for me and he said some cool shit, but like, damn, to that point.
Damn, you're God now, dude.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I like
Goes back to
seeing
the rock,
hawks,
I mean,
dude. Yeah.
Like the birds.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. I can get down
I
with that.
love, man, when I see a hawk waiting there,
Yep.
like I'm getting so good at just noticing them now, and that makes me really proud of myself.
Yeah.
And like the way they fly, like I can pick it out, you know, because there's a lot of buzzards around here. And,
Yep.
oh, they're fucking birds. But like
Yeah.
when I see a hawk, it's just another reminder, like that rock,
Yep.
to reflect on what I was just thinking about.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's hoo-hoo or not, I don't give a shit. It causes the self-reflection, and that's what the alchemists were doing. When they were making their different, they were writing out these treatises and using these ingredients that would literally turn something into something else.
Right.
They were reflecting as they were doing it, man. And all of these things had properties and, you know, storylines to go with the elements. So
Right.
they were doing the same thing. So I wonder if we're just always doing that. If you're prone to seeing what the fuck you're up to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or finding pause, finding
Yeah.
things that are
Yeah.
a trigger for pause, like that kind of thing.
I'll
Yeah.
take a trigger for pause,
Yeah.
you know?
Well,
But-
there's positive triggers.
Not a
it's
scary
like,
one.
yeah, the word is used to a point of it's only connotated of like bad things. I find it to be, even like the thing in my kids that makes me, the trigger is all of a sudden I'm thinking that I'm going to die. Is still the end result is I have a huge gratitude that I'm alive.
And it
that I
brings
get
you
to
back.
experience my kids. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's still a positive trigger. It
Yeah,
took me
dude.
down a weird path, but it's a positive trigger,
I'll take it, dude.
you know?
God. Man, yeah. That thinking about dying thing is a trip, man. I think about it most when I've just eaten too much food.
Oh yeah?
And I get bloated, my body starts hurting, and my thinking starts getting all fucked up. And I'm like, I can't live like this. You know what I'm saying?
When I do that,
a
it's
deal.
like a shame trigger. for
Really?
me. Yeah, if I eat too much and I get that like, oh fuck. I
can't
get
go-
the like,
can't
I
do
lost
shit.
control and I'm
Yes.
like, yeah, that's the part for
man.
me I have to really, really be careful of.
Man, I do too. I have that too then, dude.
Yeah,
I've never really heard anyone else say it like that.
yeah.
So I appreciate you saying that. What do you do? How do you get through that?
I have just a lot of self-talk in those moments, and because you can't do, any of it perfectly.
Yeah. Make it perfect. Dude.
Yeah.
Well,
like the story of the Enzo circle, the fucking, I'll do one on here, like the Japanese thing. You'd see them on yoga studios all over, or it's just like a one. So it's that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the idea is a Zen thing of attempting a perfect circle in one stroke every day, knowing that you're not going to get it. It doesn't mean you don't attempt it.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's like that's the same with recovery, and the same I do with my food side of my recovery. And it's like, it used to be that shame would just make me, as soon as the food settled, I'd go do it again.
Oh, you'd eat more?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. When you were, so you would eat a ton.
Yeah, and then I'd feel shame, and then the only thing that made me
eat more food.
So I'd want
Whoa. Okay.
And then, and it used to be, I medicated it with like porn or sex, drinking, any of those things.
Right.
And then, after I started chipping away some of these things, and food was like the last one, in the sense of like, it's more societally, okay.
And you need it.
And you need it.
Yeah, big time.
So it was like, now that's the one that, I just go back to like, well, okay, I ate 10 Oreos. I feel like shit. What would make this feel better? 10 more Oreos.
Fuck yeah.
And then I would be like, then it's a spiral.
Yes.
So now I'm in a better place through years of working through, through years of doing it, and then not getting back on the horse very quickly.
Right.
Now I can get on it very quickly.
Cool.
And it's,
wow,
and it's not to say today at lunch I might totally blow that out the water.
Yep.
And that might not go well.
Yep.
And I just have to be easier on myself when it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
But usually I'll be really hard on myself when it, and even when it's not that, I can pick other things, not getting up at stupid crazy hours
Where does
in the
that
morning
come from,
to,
dude? You know what I mean?
Do.
Yeah. Where does it come from? Where does it start for you?
Dude,
when you were a kid, whose voice is that in there to do that?
Man, honestly, I think it's more the do thing. I think came more from my filter of looking through Instagram.
Okay.
And just the
keeping up.
People like, when do they find time to paint this much? All this shit. And I'm like, I must need to get up at 4:30.
Yeah.
Paint for 2 hours before my family gets up. It must be the thing. And then come 8:30 at night, I'm a dick to everybody in my house.
Zoned.
I'm so tired.
Oh, totally, dude. Yeah.
So it's like, now I'm back to like, I'm a little better about it. It's still eat my breakfast every so often where I'm like, I'll still want to creep the alarm a little earlier and earlier because I could get more things done. And now I'm making myself like sit and read instead of anything when I wake up. It used to be drawing for a long time, and then it was scrolling through fucking Instagram for way too long and just feeling like shit after it. Yeah. And now I don't keep Instagram on my phone, which is a recent thing. I don't want to act like I'm all super enlightened or anything.
I'm zoned in.
But I got a Kindle, and I sit and read preferably cheesy stuff.
Yes. Light stuff?
Yeah, light stuff.
Love it.
I'm reading a book about an orc that opened a coffee shop in a fucking village. And it's awesome. Like super low risk, but I'm super into it.
That's great.
Legends and Lattes, that's the name
of the
book.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. And it's like fantasy realm type stuff, but there's nothing crazy going on except this orc is opening a coffee shop. Nobody knows what coffee is where she lives. So it's fantastic. So that's like, and then again, that's like today. That's working. And it doesn't mean tomorrow I might not wake up and, put Instagram on my phone again and decide to feel bad about where I'm at on things. But that's to me where I feel like I get the like, you got to do the things, Also just trying to not tell so many people that I was doing the things. That's the other part.
I relate to
like,
that.
what time do you get up? Oh, I'll get up at 5:30, man.
Yep.
What time you? And it's like, now I'm like, even if that is what time, I just say early.
Yeah.
I am a morning person.
Yeah.
But to be the detriment of like losing hangout time with my family and my wife because I'm so fucking tired at 9.
Yeah, dude.
That doesn't work for me. Might work for some people. Doesn't work for
not me either, dude.
Yeah.
It's quite a difference.
I love it.
No, you don't.
I do.
Get the fuck out of here.
We
Do not be nice to
Do you
me
ever
right
switch
now.
halfway through?
Now you want to? You were doing that at the convention, which was so fucking awesome.
Thanks, man. I got to figure out a better way to be more of use for you at that. I was like, oh no, I had it in my head. Did you have fun?
Oh, dude, good. Yeah. I think Brian and both of us, we both had fun. We were just, dude, it was cool to just be in there painting. People would come by and just talk, and like I was, dude, that's what I was hoping.
It was hard because I was like running around like a chicken with my head cut off, so I didn't really get to check on you guys.
You had a lot going
on.
I
thought, but
yeah.
I was stoked to have you there.
Thanks.
You were one of the first people I talked to after I booked it. So it was like,
I would love to do it again if that works out.
Yeah,
man. That's
we'll make it work out. Yeah,
cool. It was such a good time. I'm kind of glad that it wasn't. We weren't like, I don't know how Brian feels, but there's a part of me that was like, oh, it'd be cool to be on stage, but dude, no way. It felt like I was in the group of people working. Like that felt real cool. So,
okay.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool.
I have to keep that in mind because that was like my next thought was to like have you guys more by the stage for next year. But if
Brian may want that, or whoever you choose.
Yeah,
you know, whatever. But
yeah, my wife and I bought it out from our business partners. They were stretched too thin doing it from Iowa, so we bought them out. So my wife and I are the ones putting it on now.
Cool. Yeah.
So she's a champ.
That's awesome, man. That's very cool.
Yeah.
It was sweet, dude. This year. Had a great time.
I'm glad.
Did it seem like everybody had a good time?
It did. We got a lot of good feedback.
Good.
Yeah, I mean enough good feedback that it was like, all right, I guess
we're
doing it again.
Sweet. So that's sweet.
Yeah.
And that I guess they call that. What would they call that? It's the fairgrounds, but what would that place be called?
The Expo One building.
Expo One building. Yeah. That was a good spot to do it.
Yeah.
And having Andy and them there, you know, and all the food trucks and shit.
Yeah, there were some of the other people I called first because it was a lot of why we had it at the fairgrounds was so that we could have our own food there.
Yes.
And a lot of the people that came from out of town, they were like, "Oh man, it's usually convention center food and all this." And
just kind of shitty.
We didn't want that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So that part of it was good, and I was glad that people liked it.
It was tight. Yeah. It was super tight, man.
I'm glad you
had a great time. Thanks, man.
Is this one white?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what kind of time we got. What time did we start, Daniel? Do you know? 46 minutes. Okay.
How long do you usually go?
About 50 minutes, 55 minutes.
Okay.
So we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of what else I wanted to ask you. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, so I know you kind of have gotten back on the gear. You did this a bunch, and then was it COVID that kind of like pared it back, or was it?
Well, it was COVID. It was getting divorced, having a kid.
Yeah.
And then my old camera guy, Luke, he decided he didn't want to do it anymore, and at that time I understand. I understood I understood, and I still do understand. He was great at what he did, and we're still cool. I think it was too much was going on, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had a fucking boner the whole time, like just like, come on, you know, like. But now that I'm doing it, like, Daniel, you might be like, God, quit texting me. If you are, it's fine, dude. But like, I get in modes around 2:00, where my blood sugar drops, and I start jamming. I feel like I'm losing myself, so I'm gonna contact everybody I can to do some shit for me right fucking now. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I don't like that part of myself, but that part of myself is there. But so I'm trying to like back it off, and that's why I want to learn more about editing and more about that way I can be more self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So, but it ended just because it was too emotional. It was like, I had a different goal in mind, and I think now I feel way differently about it. And I feel more grounded in myself as far as like my conversations, who I want to have, the direction I'm going. And, you know, I just started working with Keegan. Yeah. And Keegan's been a huge drive to get this thing going, and really grateful for him. And Daniel. We're new to each other too. Yeah. So yeah, that's the vibe. Nice. And he was talking about you had some ideas for this or something like that.
Me? Oh, just maybe at the show, like trying to do it
at the convention?
A version.
At the convention?
Yeah, trying to get some like tattooers up there and be
let's do it.
Especially folks like you've never met.
Yeah, you know? Let's do it. That sounds great.
Because I love this format. I loved being a part of the group one that we did.
Yes, dude, that was fun. That was so awkward. What the fuck? Yeah. That shit was awkward.
Yeah,
as
but
hell.
I think that's what I have to. Even I have to like.
Yeah.
resign myself to like, this is what we signed up for.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of like, not like those Jerry Springer moment awkward, but like the like, we don't know where this is going to go. And that's the best thing about it. And
getting caught off guard some.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Somebody hitting canvases with a hammer, you know.
Oh, that was,
But,
oh my God.
and that's the thing though, is like,
Elizabeth.
but that's still like that person's thing. It's like,
totally.
you know, I can get in my head about what it is or isn't. And it's like, it doesn't matter what, you know, is in my head. It's like that person working through whatever they're working through, and you created a space for them to do so. You know, one of the things I took away being a part of it.
Yeah.
Andy. Because I was in the same one that he was in. I'm fairly social, but I still pretend to be outgoing.
Sure.
It's still difficult.
Sure.
And I watched him walk up to everybody that he figured out was in at that time, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm Andy," and he just like, "What's up? We're best friends now." Because we've been in the same circles for years.
Yeah.
But we'd never like
really
met.
gone for it.
And after that, I was like, I'll take what he's got.
That's cool.
Whatever that dude's got is dope.
He is pretty fucking badass, man. He is badass, man.
I love it.
Always has been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seems it. I mean, well, you look at like what they do, and mind you, it's not to downplay how good a quality of food it is, because it wouldn't still be going.
It's burgers, dude.
Right.
It's burgers.
But
it's so smart.
But people will buy what that dude could be like. He could switch to tacos tomorrow, and it will. And
they'd be on.
They would be on it because he's on it.
Yep.
You know, like
he
I'm
really
gonna support
is,
whatever you're doing.
God.
And
it's pretty incredible.
I can, you know, it's nice to even just be in the general orbit of people like that.
Yep.
Where it's like, I'm not trying to necessarily like take anything in the sense of like, you know, taking without permission or fake relationship type stuff. I'm not going to pretend that he and I are like homies or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like, I like to know what he's up to because it's probably cool.
Yeah. I feel the same way, man.
Yeah.
He does have that. He does have that like known you a long time vibe.
Yeah.
I really dig that.
That was something I really enjoyed being a part of. And that wasn't even part of what happened on stage.
Yeah, right.
You know,
yeah, right.
And it was crying in it. And shit. I was like, dude, people crying, I love.
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm a crier.
Yeah, same here, man.
Get down with that shit.
God. In my group therapy, there was like, we used to have a guy in there. He was, his title was designated weeper.
Nice.
And like a couple of weeks ago, one of the members said that to me. I feel like that's you now. And I'm like, fuck,
dude.
Every day.
I feel like that's a compliment.
It is. If I'm in group and I don't cry, I'm like, well, we'll get it again next week. You know what I'm saying?
See you guys here at the same time.
So yeah.
Yeah. That stuff though, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I like movies and stuff, but like, do you ever, this is always weird. Like,
Please.
Great Pottery Throwdown. You ever seen
I remember
that show?
you were saying that on Make It
Dude,
Perfect.
That one.
Yeah.
So that show, I think that was even one of your questions. It was like, what makes you cry? It was like, now I'm remembering that.
Awesome.
But that dude, that host.
Yeah.
And he cries because he's so excited for people.
That's cool.
And he's like a kind of bigger, hulking guy that makes these like wonderful finessed vessels.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, he looks like he was, if he said he was a bouncer back in his days, you'd be like, okay.
That's cool.
But he will just cry. And every time he does, I do.
That's
every
awesome.
time. I'm like, they really did pour their heart into that.
He's in there, man.
He is. Man.
That's cool, dude.
He gives it his all.
Oh, man. Yeah. Last thing I'll say before and I'll ask you a couple more questions.
Yeah.
Like, if I meet someone that, they talk about stoicism all the time and they're all, look at this Balin, this is not you, okay? Maybe that's me. Maybe that's my anima figure in my mind just fucking going bonkers. Anyway, so when I hear someone talk about stoicism and masculinity and all that shit, which is cool, it's fine, it's cool. Like, I've definitely become more masculine the older I've gotten and had a kid, but I've also I went through a time where I couldn't cry, and a time where I felt like, I'm like, what is going on with me? I was like such a soft guy, and I was like, you go through some shit, and it sometimes it makes that happen. But they talk about don't be weak, don't let your emotions show, don't do all this stuff.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I get that in certain scenarios. and you don't always have to let your emotions fly, but it's like, why don't you?
Yeah.
What about you is so rigid and fragile that you can't let your emotions show? Why do you always got to hold it in? Are you that afraid? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that is not power.
No.
Like I think of Dan Campbell from, you're not a sports guy. We talked about this.
No.
Okay, so this is lost.
Sports ball.
But Dan Campbell is this kind of like, probably like your dude on the pottery thing, you know?
Yeah.
And he's a huge dude. And he's like, the way he speaks, he'll like tear up about his team and about what they do and how hard they work. And, and he'll own when he drops the ball and like just, it's his fault. He does this. And I'm like, that is an example of like true strength. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and just even the one thing you talked on that, like ownership. Ownership to me, I mean, well, and even talk about like getting more masculine as you get older. I don't know if it's necessarily that you get more masculine. It's that you get a better understanding of what masculine means.
Yeah, that's good.
You know? And it means whatever you need it to mean.
Mm-hmm,
There is people want to talk about this, that it's defined, and it's not.
Yeah,
in my opinion, it's
I
not.
understand
I mean, that might even be deciding that's a definition, you know, but it's like I don't know. I hope to get more and more tender the older I get.
Yeah.
And to me, that feels more and more in touch with my self.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I shy away from calling it like my masculine self, just myself. You know.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. But
I wish I would have put it that way.
I win. I won. I won the thing.
You won that thing.
Yeah.
Man, I think that's cool. I think maybe what I was getting at was being more present and more understanding of my emotions.
Yeah.
And not letting them rule me. You know, but I still let them rule me. You know what I mean?
Right, but even then it's like, but you still have the awareness and the acknowledgement and the ownership. It's like, you know, I talk about ownership, like people owning things, but like you just start owning it to yourself. It's like,
big time.
You know,
I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. And that's one of the things, even kind of, it's like bringing it all back to the beginning kind of thing. Like my buddy and I talking about being dads and like the fact that we're even having conversations with other dads like this that are like this vulnerable.
It's a big
like,
deal.
well, we're already doing at least potentially something right.
Yeah.
You know, we're not just like inside ourselves all the time and not talking about any of it. And, you know, that's something, right?
Yeah, big time.
Is it?
Yeah, I agree. It's like doing that work and not talking about it.
Yeah.
Meaning like, oh, I want this. I want to be like this. I want to be like this. It's actually happening.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, you know? That's cool, man. Ian, any last words, dude?
Worcestershire? No.
Sauce.
Yeah.
Saucy.
No, this is fun. I'm
Good.
stoked to get on here.
Yeah, dude.
Stoked to do this with you.
Good.
Stoked to know you.
You too, man. We'll do another.
I think you should make those shirts again.
Which ones?
The I Know Ryan Rado shirts.
Oh God, dude. That would be a fucking dick if I made those shirts. I mean, I'm a dick sometimes, but like, I don't know if I could do that. You know, I don't know.
It'd be fun.
Maybe at some point. Would you wear it?
I would wear it. I feel like it would be one where like you just give them to your guests.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty smart.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
Where you see somebody else out with them, and you're like, oh, you've been on the show too.
Yeah, right. Or someone who hasn't been on, who gave it away.
Someone who hasn't been
on
even
the
worse.
show.
It's always my fear because I've felt this feeling before. Is when somebody found one of my shirts at the thrift store. I'm like, God damn.
What am I worth?
Yeah.
$3.99.
Yep.
You know, I owned that thrift store back in the day. I don't know if you were here. Okay.
That was where I first met you.
At the thrift store?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
You were putting on a show in there.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know about your tics and stuff. And,
yes, go for it.
You bit my friend in the forehead, and they knew about your Christy Craig.
I did?
Yeah.
God, that's a reach. She's tall.
Yeah. Well, my wife didn't know about him, and we were at Ethan Luck's house, and you just stood next to me and started twisting my nipple. But
Was it hard? The feeling.
Yes.
Was it harder than that?
Oh, it was It was a good twist.
It's a rough time.
But I at the same time, I was just, everybody that was there knew you, except for my wife. So she's just standing there. She's just kind of like, okay. And everybody around knows you.
Yeah.
So everybody's just like, yeah, let's just keep talking. Not even a conscious, just keep talking. It's just like,
totally, That's cool.
And then you walked away and you even went like this. You went, thanks. And you walked away. And I was like, yeah, dude. And this was like 13 years ago.
Yeah, that's sweet.
And
that makes me laugh.
Yeah, it was the best. It's a fond memory.
Good,
I think of it
good,
fondly.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I think of it in the senses of like a friend having safety, things like that. It's like I get into the nuance of emotions and shit around it.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, I appreciate that.
It's fun.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, man.
It's a good time.
It is a good time.
Where can everybody know about you on this thing?
SayFastTattoo.com, Art by Ian White on Instagram, the tattoo conventions, Middle Tennessee Tattoo Expo. Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's
Awesome.
it.
Good
Yeah.
Good. Sweet, dude. Good time, man.
Yin and yang.
Yes. Daniel, everybody, thank you. Take it easy.